Episode 3, Who's Picking Up Your Tab? The Cost of Learning. Hey there, and welcome back to Who's Picking Up Your Tab, the podcast where we peel back the layers of every shiny success story and ask, who made this possible? I'm your host, Pam, and if you've been riding with us through the age of invention and the age of innovation, you already know nobody does it alone. So far, we've looked at big names: Edison, Tesla, Bezos, Musk, and uncovered the engineers, the warehouse workers, the public dollars, and policy plays holding up the whole operation. But today we're going to go even deeper because before anyone invents, innovates, or inspires, they learn. And learning, that's a tab someone's got to pick up.
Every journey of success begins in a classroom. These foundational spaces don't just teach us facts and figures, they shape our minds, mold our futures, and create the springboard for every achievement that follows.
Segment 1, the school that built you. So let's start with a little time travel. Remember the classroom that smelt of pencil shavings and old books. The one where you learned to multiply, or spell Wednesday, or survive a group project with that one kid who never showed up. Yeah, him. Well, school is the first ladder most of us are handed. Public schools, private schools, Catholic schools with strict nuns. I'm sure you had a Sister Panny like we did. Or maybe that one Montessori where they made you count beads and talk about your feelings. Wherever it was, it shaped you. Now, here's the twist. We often talk about self-made success. But how many self-made people learned to read thanks to a public school teacher funded by taxpayers? Steve Jobs. Well, he took calligraphy class at a state college. That one class influenced Apple's font aesthetics. Sergey Brin and Larry Page, the minds behind Google, product of public university systems. Educational institutions are launch pads. They're not magic. They run on, well, teachers who work long hours with short paychecks, counselors who hold up students together with scotch tape and Starbucks, donors who fund scholarships, taxpayers, and let's be real, sometimes grumble, but still pay. And let's not forget the cafeteria staff making sure someone is getting a hot meal. Because it's really hard to ace algebra on an empty stomach. So, when we applaud the graduates turned CEOs, let's give a round of applause to everyone who helped them cross the stage.
As we move beyond K-12 education, the landscape transforms dramatically. Higher education and self-directed learning open up new horizons, presenting both unprecedented opportunities and unique challenges.
Segment 2, Degrees, Debt, and the DIY Learner. Now let's fast forward. Graduation day. You toss your cap in the air and immediately get hit with two things: hope and a student loan. College is expensive, and in a lot of places, access to higher education is uneven. Some students choose between rent and textbooks, and others never get the option at all. Yes, universities create pathways, but those pathways, paved by public grants, work-study jobs, and late-night hustle of students doing homework between shifts. And then there's the other side of learning, the rise of the self-taught. Welcome to the age of the YouTube universities. Free coding boot camps and online courses with names like How to Build a Six-Figure side hustle in 10 days. Look at Khan Academy, started by a guy making math videos for his cousin, now reaching millions worldwide for free. Or Coursera, Udemy, and edX, bringing Ivy League lectures to living rooms across the globe. Each platform picking up the tab differently through donations, partnerships, and a mix of free access and premium features. They are proof that knowledge doesn't always need a campus to change lives. Some of it is legit, and some of it snake oil. But here's what's true: the internet has cracked open the classroom. Knowledge is more accessible than ever, but that doesn't mean that the playing field is level. A strong Wi Fi connection, a quiet place to study, and the luxury of time, those are privileges. So, whether it's Harvard or Skillshare, someone is investing time, money, and effort so learning can happen. Segment 3: The Secret Teachers. So, let's talk about the other educators, the ones who never assign homework but still change your life. You know who I mean. The coach who told you to stop slouching and start believing. The boss who took a chance on you when you had no experience. The auntie who taught you how to budget or how to forgive yourself when you messed up. Mentorship is one of the most powerful and underrated forms of education. It happens in living rooms, at job sites, in corner offices, and sometimes quite by accident. You watch someone move through the world and think, wow, that's how I want to lead. That's how I want to show up. But access to mentors, not equally distributed. If you grew up with connections, family support, or a teacher who saw your spark early on, you had a head start. If not, you might have had to build that support system from scratch. And mentors aren't just individuals. Communities do this too. Nonprofits, youth groups, barbershop conversations. Education doesn't only happen at the desk. It happens where people show up for each other.
Behind every success story lies a deeper investment, one measured not just in financial terms, but in dedication, support, and countless hours of guidance that transform potential into achievement.
Segment 4: The Price of Potential. So let's zoom out. Education, whether it's in a school, on a job, or through a life lesson, is an investment. Not just in knowledge, but in possibility. Behind every coder who builds the next great app is a trail of teachers, textbooks, parents, friends, and funders who got them there. Behind every scientist with a breakthrough is someone who read their rough draft in 11th grade chemistry and said, "You've got something here." Learning doesn't come free. Somebody worked extra shifts to pay the tuition bill. Somebody taught without a curriculum just to keep the kids inspired. Somebody gave away knowledge online for free because they remembered how it felt to be left out. And you know what? Those somebodies deserve credit too.
Throughout this journey, we've seen the countless hands that shape our educational future. From dedicated teachers to inspiring mentors, from public institutions to private benefactors. Each of us stands on the shoulders of those who invested in our potential. Now it's our turn to acknowledge their impact and continue their legacy.
Closing thoughts, plus your turn. So here's what I want you to think about. Before there was an inventor, there was a student. Before the student stood on stage, somebody held the ladder. So, who held yours? And who's still climbing today without enough support? Drop me a message. Tag me with hashtag who's picking up the tab. Or tell me the name of your teacher, mentor, or behind the scenes angel who shaped you. I would love to give them a shout out in a future mini episode. In our next episode, we're talking government and policy. Because roads, research grants, and Wi Fi don't build themselves. Thanks for listening to Who's Picking Up Your Tab. Subscribe, leave a review, or tell a friend that brilliance might be born in the brain, but it's raised by a village.